everyone, and welcome back to my channel, DoBeLive, where I want you to do well, be well, live well, and the intent is always for you to walk away with some type of inspiration, love, and or healing energy. So I've been absent for quite a while, simply because, as some of you may be aware, I was in school during the time I decided to relaunch DoBeLive, this channel for intuitive readings, for, speaking about things all spiritual and just my real life shit, being transparent about things that spirit and I feel you all need to know and that I want to share. So it feels really, really surreal, but amazing to be back in this space to be able to record for you all on today. And so much has happened from the last collective message that I did up until now. I have recently in February graduated massage therapy. And then I took my state boards, or the NBLEX, to start the process to become licensed to practice March the 1st, which was a goal to, take it March the 1st and pass it the first time, because, you hear so many people say, they did well, or, they've got to retest, and this is people who may be practicing and licensed. There's different endorsements. Nonetheless, that's irrelevant, because if you're not in the world of massage, you could care less what I'm saying. But as it relates to my absence on DoBeLive, it has been because I am in the process of becoming a licensed massage therapist. So I graduated. I'm grateful. That was a great accomplishment for me, because I have a bad habit of procrastinating and not completing things in my life. And just during this time between the last message that I brought to you all to today, so much growth has taken place. I've been through so many things, learning how to really be with myself, sit with myself, be alone, not lonely, but to be alone. Sometimes it does feel a little lonely. I'm so used to either having my kids around or my siblings around. I've recently moved back in with my baby sister, just because, I realized that after my mother's ascension, December 2018, that a reset in my life took place. And the reset took place because I was, in nursing, which I am very passionate about healing and being of service to others. But my passion for that particular scope in healthcare diminished. I was burnt out. I was tired of feeling as though I was making more money for others. Everything from management to clinical support to just being a CNA to being a med tech. I was burnt out. I was tired, and I had had enough. And definitely had enough about management. Just giving so much of myself, watching, my kids have to sacrifice my time and attention, love and nurturing support, me giving up that type of energy to, be so dedicated, so loyal, so reliable, and so dependable to a scope of practice that didn't really, I felt, wasn't valuing who I was. And I didn't know what I fell into this deep depression. I've mentioned it before in past posts of the one-on-one comfy with me. And I fell into a deep depression when my mother passed. And I didn't realize that I was depressed until a couple of months going into it. So much catalytic change took place during that time. And around January 2020, right before COVID and all, the pandemic and whatnot, I had what felt like to me in December, anxiety / asthma attack. I contracted a cold, and I am asthmatic. Typically mine is weather induced, severe weather induced, and or overexerting myself physically. And I know this about me. But I had a bad sinus slash head cold. And all of a sudden it turned into what I feel at the time, now reflecting last year, what was probably and possibly COVID. Because when I went to the emergency room, I had chest pains, could barely breathe, my blood pressure was high. They did all types of blood tests, everything, stress tests. They checked, to make sure that I hadn't had some type of mild heart attack or anything like that, and everything came back clear, you guys, like nothing, they couldn't find anything. And so they diagnosed me as having like a severe respiratory attack, or asthma attack. So they treated me with albuterol, and I want to say they may have given me a Rocephin shot at that time. I can't remember, but I feel like they did. But when I tell you the anxiety I feel, I literally looked over to my baby girl who was with me, who was 12 at the time, 11, hadn't turned 12 yet, who was 11 at the time. I remember looking at her and telling her, like, I felt like I was going to leave this world that day or soon, because that's just how severe, that's how real it really, really was. But in hindsight, what was taking place is I wasn't physically dying in that sense, but in a sense, yes, a death occurred. A death of the old me, the old way of living, the old way of being, the old way of thinking took place that day. And in the spiritual as well, like I had to die in that sense so that I could begin to awaken and be born into this new lifestyle, this new path, this new person that I'm becoming. And I say new because we're constantly in a state of evolution, and I'm always here for the elevation and evolving as a person and evolving as a whole. I know I'm nothing like I was maybe even last year, maybe even last month. That's how serious and significant and deep it was for me. And we all go through these things, and we may not know how to process it all at one time. And so I just felt like things were just falling apart in my life. But the reality was things were falling away to create a clear path for me to focus on what it is that I needed to do, where it was that I needed to go, and where I needed to be. Um, I've learned to be more present in my now, because I'm always so future forward thinking. I'm always so consumed with what's coming, what's coming, what's coming. And a lot of that has to do with my own gifts and abilities of sight and being able to see certain things. And, from the time I was a young child, or you don't know, but I'm sharing from the time that I was a young child, I always dreamt. And I could always remember. And, people would tell me, your dreams are so vivid. Oh my God. And sometimes when I'm dreaming about others and I would share it with them, and they're like, oh, no, 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 no. And so a lot of my close relatives, because all of my cousins, we grew up like family, like siblings, so they feel more like siblings more so than cousins. I'm grateful that we have a family like that dynamic. But they would be like, don't tell me your dreams, because it had gotten to a point where, they would show me certain things, and certain things would start to unfold. And so, being able to see certain things, I would get anxious and I would get impatient. And that's something people don't know about me. I'm patient. I am very patient. I'm patient with everyone else but myself. So I have a bad and short tolerance when it comes to trying to get something done. And if I feel like you're not adding to it, or you're not conducive to the mood and getting it done, I'm impatient. But that is yet in progress. And so I lost my job, I lost my car. I got into a car accident, and literally I remember when I was rear-ended that day. I was on my way to pick up my daughter. I was rear-ended that day and totaled my sister's car, actually. And I hopped out the car like, what, the shock of everything. I hadn't processed what was happening in that regard. And it literally shifted something in my ethereal field. I could feel it. And I remember going back to the house and trying to do some Reiki. But when I got out the car, part, I remember just crying, like these tears just came. And I could hear so clearly my mother saying, slow down. Because I hadn't realized that I was can't stop, don't stop. That's a nickname that one of my favorite people, one of my best friends gave me, because he was just like, every time I see you, you're on the go. Every time I see you, you're doing, you just can't stop, won't stop. Moving, shaking, talking, whatever. And she told me to slow down. And then, of course, me being hard-headed, me trying to defy the odds, me trying to do what you telling me I can't do, continue to move. And I remember I picked up this part-time nursing gig. And it just seemed like every time I tried to put myself in the field that I was so tired of, Spirit will come in and literally shake things up so that I would have no choice but to come out of it again. And so the focus began to be on school. I don't know what I was doing. I think I was filing for unemployment, and I was like, you know what? I got to do something. I want to do metaphysics, and I'm 12 credit hours away from completing a degree in psychology. Okay. So I remember going to the college, the local community college, and I was like, I want to do this. I said, but, are there any suggestions for something that I can do now with the pandemic and all, where I can just, jump right back into the workforce until I get a better idea and sense of direction. And so she began to describe to me the pharmacology program. I was like, I don't know. And then she mentioned massage, and she was like, but that isn't necessarily curriculum for them, but I could still do it. It was a part of the continuing ed. So I was like, okay, which one starts sooner? And so I ended up going with massage. Best day ever. So I remember talking to my instructor, Paul. Oh, bless him. I love him so much. Shout out to Paul. I remember him sitting down and talking to me, because he never misses a thing. That is something that we have always said, me and my classmates. He picks up on energy like no other. He's an amazing dope soul. And so I remember my interview with him. I know he picked up that I just had this rushed, like it was just too much. It was like, please calm down. If I can see him like, dude, slow down. So he sat down with me and we had our interview, and he said to me, are you sure you don't want to wait for the September class? I started in February. This was after my anxiety / what I felt like was me contracting COVID at that time. And I was like, no, I'm ready. And I remember getting up feeling unsure about it, because I had begun to let fear creep in, because I knew that massage was something that I was interested in. It was another form of energy and body work, a modality that I could use in DoBeLive. And so I registered for the class, moved past my fears and anxieties of being uncertainty and not sure how it would work, if it would work, but knowing that I needed to make a change in my life. And I remember, pandemic hits, shut down, mandatory for basically the world. Everybody's at stay at home order. So we spent most of the first module into basically the summer months, So I basically completed my first module online from home. And then when it began to be safer for us to practice social distance but still be in class, we came back into the classroom. And it's just like things just went from there. And I remember in July, I had a memory show up on my Facebook that 10 years from that date in July of last year, I was in the associate's program for massage therapy, had the picture posted and everything on in 2010 on my Facebook where I was in the process of doing it. And that's when I realized, oh my God, I did want to do this before. It was something that I was passionate about. It was a way that I could still bring a lot of healing energies into something that I love to do. And you have that aha moment like, duh, you're on your path, you're in alignment. So a lot of those things that were occurring in my life, losing my job, losing my car, got another truck only for it to break down and be transportationless again. And if you know anything about being in the South or being in such a space like North Carolina, you have to have transportation, period. It's not like being in New York when you can jump on the L or anything like that and it's a taxi cab every corner. No, you're gonna have to have transportation. So that happened. And then, having to move and it just seemed like it was just too much going on at such, and what I felt was an amazing time for me to be starting a new journey, a new path into my career that, was a part of my purpose, knowing that this is where I'm supposed to be now. I've met some amazing people along the way. Much gratitude to everyone who was still supporting DoBeLive, because at this point it's like I'm working for myself, and so things kind of slowed down, and I was like, what am I doing, what am I not doing, where is DoBeLive going? And it gets frustrating, it gets discouraging. Listen here, get close. Whoever said, or if you think that starting your own business from the ground up, from scratch, from the pennies you have in your pocket, was going to be easy, baby, think again. But I'm grateful for the experience, and I'm grateful that it's led me to where I am now. So that's just a little spiel about where I've been and what's been going on with me. As always, any of my services, modalities, what I do, you can find in the description box below. We'll take you to my website where all of that is available. And today was just really about, sharing with y'all, getting caught up with what's been going on in my life and where I am. And, just trying to grow. So, also, what I wanted to share is that I'm in the process, because I really do want to focus more on my YouTube now that I have graduated and I do have the time to dedicate daily. Thank you to Freedom Mastery with this amazing law of attraction planner. Okay, so we're going to get into this in a minute as well. But when I hit 50, so I need you guys to watch this all the way through. Like, share, subscribe, comment, interact, engage. I love when you guys do that. Please share, like, subscribe. Because when I hit 50, I'm so grateful for the 24. Like, every time I see that thing says subscriber, I'm like, ooh. It's the little things. It really is. And I don't know what's going to happen with DoBeLive, the YouTube channel. But I'm open. And I'm here for miracles. A lot of affirmations. So part of a lot of why, I guess a lot of people are asking me, they're letting me know that in some way they feel I've changed. They feel my glow is different. My vibrations are, and that is beautiful. That is amazing. That's what I want. And I want to be an inspiration and a light for others to tune in and bring that out within themselves. Okay. But this law of attraction planner, you guys, like, I love this, and I have been for some time wanting to purchase a new planner, because I'm one of those that I'm so intellectual, like I'm so methodical with certain stuff. I know for me to be an air sign, right? But I'm very structured, which doesn't make sense because I have no earth in my chart. But I am very structured. I love this planner from Freedom Mastery. This is the one where you can input the dates yourself, and I like it because it gives me something to do. But like the mission and vision statements that were in the beginning of what I showed you, like goals. I don't know, can you guys see that? Like the goals and just how I'm gonna make these things happen. Like there's a calendar, you guys. When I say I have to do my vision board, that's my vision board. When I say everything, like from spiritual, career, health, life, like this thing is my Bible, okay? Right now, this is a lot of why I feel a lot better about the direction that I'm going, and the direction that DoBeLive is going at this time. And so the month is set up like so. I just want to share it, and they, you know, nobody's endorsing this. I'm doing this on my own, but I love this. Like I can put it in, even though that's supposed to be a goal, but mine's business. Okay, so yeah, it's got like to-do lists, and you can, you know, mine is a brain map, you know, a mind map right there, things that I'm working on doing for the month of March, and you know, things that I have. Then we go to the weekly planner. So actually, let me go to this week, which isn't much going on this week because it's not, but nonetheless, and I've not checked my Square app to see what appointments to add. So yeah, like literally the time I have my gratitude and love positive habit makers down here. I love it. Meditate, exercise. I have eat healthy. It's got to-do lists. It even has little quotes for each week. So this is the best thing since sliced bread for me, and I'm 20 minutes too long, but I did want to just kind of get back up here and be like, hey, this is what's going on in my life. This is why I've not been as active with DoBeLive as I want to. Oh, I'm so excited. But I am going to do a collective message today to see what it is that is coming through from my higher selves. And I'm not sure if it's going to be a pick a pile or if it's just going to be an overall collective message for you all taking what resonates most. It's not going to be for everybody. That's okay. But yeah, if you're like me and your 2021 is trying to be so much better than your 2020, you know, we all have our different reasons and different ideas for what success and accomplishment and fulfillment looks like. I recommend this from Freedom Mastery. I just happen to get mine from off of Amazon. However, they do have a website. I will post that in the description as well. Law of Attraction Planner, and they have beautiful other amazing colors and covers. So Pepurio is one of my favorites, and it has the astrology, the astrological and constellations of the zodiac. So of course, naturally, this is the first one that I wanted to get for myself. I was gonna get a planner, period, but when I saw Law of Attraction, it was like, what? Who? Why haven't I already been using this? We use LOA every day, but this helps. So there's that. Also, I have been reading, and I thought I had the book out, but y'all, that book is so tattered. That's how much I've been reading it. A New Earth by Tolle, Tolle, because I miss his first name up here every time, so we're not gonna shout out to Tolle. A New Earth. I encourage you to, if you've already read it, reread it. If you haven't read it, read it. It will definitely raise your vibrations. It will definitely help you to awaken to a lot of new truths that maybe you weren't aware of. If you're ready, if you're in a space where you're ready and you're looking for a catalyst of change to elevate as a person, to really, really understand and integrate, you know, your soul being into this physical vessel, this experience that you're having as a human, I recommend that as well as many others. So take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all in my next video for the collective message. Peace.